Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at TPM Videos. The Disneyland Resort in California brings many classic Disney stories to life. No small detail goes unnoticed in a Disney theme park, and the attention to detail is what makes Disney stand out from the rest. You'll find many references to a variety of classic Disney films hidden all around Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. Either they're tucked away somewhere and are hard to spot, or they appear in places you wouldn't really expect to find them. If you enjoy what you see here today, then make sure to check out the Walt Disney World version we did a few months back. So let's explore some classic Disney films as we count down the top 7 hidden Disney movie references at Disneyland. Number 7. One of the classic Disney dark rides in Fantasyland is Snow White's Scary Adventures. It was an opening day attraction in 1955, and during the 1983 refurbishment of Fantasyland, the outside of the ride was redesigned to resemble the evil Queen's castle. Well, in the film, during the One Song scene, the camera pans over to the castle to reveal the evil queen peeking out of her window, keeping a close eye on Snow White. Well, at Disneyland, the evil queen is keeping a close eye on more than just Snow White. If you look directly above the marquee sign of the attraction, you'll see this window. Hidden behind the curtains is the evil queen who watches over Fantasyland and periodically peeks out of the window, just like she does in the movie. Now, any detail at the parks that require you to look up is always one that's easy to miss. Also, depending on the time of day, like early morning, or the angle you're looking up at the tower, it can be more difficult to see her since there's sometimes a glare. Now, if you think the evil queen looks sort of menacing during the day, well, then just wait till it's dark. The lighting on the exterior of the attraction adds a whole extra layer of menacing to this little hidden Disneyland detail. Number 6. This next one is going to take us into Cars Land at Disney California Adventure. Pixar is well known for hiding Easter eggs in their films, especially ones that relate back to other Pixar films. Like in Toy Story 2, there's a little callback to A Bug's Life here on this calendar. Well, remember that scene in Toy Story 2 where Buzz and the rest of the toys need to get to Al's Toy Barn? They decide to hide under these orange pylons and cross the street. Well, once you walk down Route 66 in Cars Land, you'll find the Cozy Cone Motel on the left-hand side. There's pylons everywhere, from the outside right into the motel lobby itself, where they fill every nook and cranny. Well, if you take a look at the end cap on that wooden table, there's a little hidden Toy Story Easter egg. Buzz Lightyear can be seen crouched under the pylon just like he was in the movie. But he isn't the only Toy Story character hidden in the Cozy Cone lobby. If we switch over to the other end, you'll also find the feet belonging to Buzz, Ham, and Rex on this end as well. Now, because the Cars characters usually have meet and greets right in front of the lobby, it's sometimes hard to get close enough to the window to see them since they are pretty small. Cars Land is full of many surprises, and these hidden Toy Story characters are just one more thing to keep an eye out for. Number 5. At the center of the Disneyland park sits the charming Sleeping Beauty Castle, and although it might be small in size, it holds many little surprises. Knowing what's inside something always intrigues us, and hidden inside Sleeping Beauty Castle is a little attraction that many people seem to forget about. As you pass through a series of stone hallways, the castle walkthrough tells the story of the 1959 animated feature film Sleeping Beauty. On multiple occasions through the castle, we've heard people say, "Oh, so this is what's inside the castle," or "This must be new, I've never seen this before." And sure, the attraction has a marquee sign, but really it's hidden in comparison to other Fantasyland attractions. If you're walking through the castle archway to get to the heart of Fantasyland, then chances are you probably aren't gonna notice this little entryway to the walkthrough on the left. There's quite a bit of Disney magic in here, and every scene has some sort of special effect and detail worth keeping an eye out for. One of my favorite little hidden surprises is in the Corridor of Goons. You wouldn't think to pull this middle door, but when you do, be prepared to hear a little surprise. It's a really charming classic attraction, so make sure to take a few minutes on your trip to admire the story of Sleeping Beauty hidden right inside the castle. Number 4. Soaring over Adventureland, you'll find Tarzan's Treehouse, which originally opened in 1962 as the Swiss Family Treehouse. In 1999, it was closed and rethemed to Tarzan to coincide with the release of the animated film. Well, during the Trashing the Camp scene in Tarzan, there's a little not-so-hidden reference to a popular Disney Renaissance-era film. Turk can be seen using the spoons to hit a teapot and some cups. But if you couldn't already tell, this teapot and this chipped cup are actually Mrs. Potts and Chip from Beauty and the Beast. The only thing that's really missing is their faces. Other than that, everything is identical to these characters. Well, obviously, with the retheme of the Swiss Family Treehouse into Tarzan's Treehouse, many references from the movie were included in the attraction, including Mrs. Potts and Chip. As your walking journey through the treehouse comes to an end, you're led to an area where you can trash the camp for yourself and play all these household objects. Well, sitting on the top of these crates, you'll find a faceless Mrs. Potts and Chip hidden right in front of your eyes. It's easy to walk right past and not even notice them, especially if you or anyone in your party isn't planning on trashing the camp. You actually do get a great view of these characters from the very top of the treehouse, though. As you look down, there's this area that isn't covered by the canopy, where you can clearly see Mrs. Potts and Chip. It's a fun little hidden reference if you're familiar with the scene from Tarzan. Or if you're just a big fan of Beauty and the Beast, it's a pleasant surprise to see these characters show up in an attraction based on a completely different film. Number 3. Alice in Wonderland is definitely a classic Disney film with a very prominent presence in Fantasyland. This area is really a mini Alice in Wonderland land. Well, in the film, the Cheshire Cat is known for showing up out of thin air. You never know where he might appear. In Fantasyland, he also shows up in a few places, like here just off the walkway, and of course in the dark ride itself. Those two are pretty predictable and obvious, but if you've never ventured into the Mad Hatter's shop, then you've been missing one of the most hidden Cheshire Cat references. Inside the store, you'll find lots of hats and lots of mirrors, but there's one mirror in particular that features this little surprise. And no, it's not the mirror with the Cheshire Cat around the frame. Over the cash desk, there's this mirror with the caterpillar. If you stare at it long enough, the Cheshire Cat will unexpectedly appear from behind the glass, just like he does in the movie. The lighting in the store plus the angle you're looking at it can make it a bit difficult to spot him, especially if you're not aware he's there. When he appears, it's very subtle. This is a fun one to have a friend go into the store without telling them where it is to see if they can spot him. Number 2. Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure at Disney California Adventure features dozens of underwater characters, but there's one hidden character in particular that has an interesting story. In 1964, Warner Brothers released the film The Incredible Mr. Limpet. This fish is Mr. Limpet. Well, at the end of Under the Sea in The Little Mermaid, Mr. Limpet can be found hidden among the other fish surrounding Sebastian. He's the one on the upper right side, right here. Well, when they were building Ariel's Undersea Adventure, they made sure to include Mr. Limpet during the Under the Sea scene as well. As your clamshell approaches the Ariel animatronic, straight ahead is your best spot to catch a glimpse of Mr. Limpet. With so much happening during the scene mixed with the dim lighting, it can be a bit difficult to spot him. Now, this ride is cloned at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, but Mr. Limpet can only be found at Disney California Adventure. Now, you might be wondering, why was a Warner Brothers character an Easter egg in a Disney film in the first place? It turns out the animator responsible for creating Mr. Limpet was Bill Tytla, and he just happened to work on other classic Disney films like Dumbo, Snow White, and Fantasia. Well, according to allyears.net, the animators who worked on The Little Mermaid really admired his work, so they included this little Easter egg to honor him. In 2016, Disneyland tweeted a photo revealing that Mr. Limpet was in fact on the ride, and in a response to a fan asking why he was included, they said that it was to honor Don Knotts. He'd been part of many Disney films and also voiced Mr. Limpet. Both reasonings make a lot of sense, but who would have known that a non-Disney character had a presence in a Disney theme park? Number 1. Now this last one takes us into Adventureland, but doesn't come from a Disney movie, and instead is a really interesting hidden secret that comes from a little Disney book. Back in 1955, Walt Disney's Little Man of Disneyland was released through Little Golden Books. It told the story of a leprechaun named Patrick Begorra who lived in a little house hidden in the roots of a tree on the land purchased by Walt Disney that was filled with orange groves. Patrick agreed to let them build this magical theme park, just as long as they made him a new house to live in. People who were aware of this story since 1955 were always on the lookout for this tiny house in a tree hidden somewhere at Disneyland. But little did they know that it really didn't exist. Well, that was until the Diamond Celebration in 2015, when Imagineers went to work and brought this little fable to life. Now, where exactly in Adventureland is this little house? Well, if you've been to Disneyland, you've definitely walked past the sign for Indiana Jones, right? You can see it's connected to a tree, and the base of this tree is where you'll find Patrick's little home. It's actually on the side facing the queue, so even if you look at the tree from the walkway, you'd probably never notice it. This is by far one of the most hidden details at Disneyland, and every day, thousands of people walk right by without even knowing that there's a little leprechaun living right in Adventureland. So, did you know about any of these hidden Disney movie references at the parks? And if you had to pick your favorite, either from this list or one that wasn't mentioned, what would it be? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. If you have any videos from the Disney parks that you'd like to share with us to be used in future videos, follow the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Click the TPM icon on the screen to subscribe to this channel, and check out some of these other videos which we're sure you'll like.